Snow drifted lazily across the sleeping town of Silver Pines, settling like whispers over rooftops and frozen trees. Raphael Stone was walking into the cemetery with flowers in his hands, going to visit his wife, Lucy Stone. He sat in his car after dropping off his flowers at her gravestone site. All he could think about were the memories they both shared together. Inside a small workshop near the edge of Main Street, Raphael Stone sat alone beneath the glow of a single lamp. His hands, rough and steady, carved the delicate curve of a wooden angel's wing. Outside, laughter from late shoppers drifted through the night, but Ryle barely heard it. He used to love this season, used to wait for it like a child waits for magic. But that was 7 years ago, before the night he lost Lucy. The clock ticked softly. He brushed away the shavings, setting the finished angel beside the others lined neatly on his workbench. They were perfect, but hollow, just like him. Raphael reached for the photo frame beside his tools. Lucy's face smiled back at him, radiant and full of life. Her brown hair caught the light, even in the picture. Her eyes, those deep, unguarded eyes, were laughing. He touched the glass gently. "You'd tell me to stop moping," he whispered. "You'd say Christmas doesn't wait for grief." But Christmas had waited for him, every year, returning like a ghost with bells on. The next morning, the town stirred awake under a veil of snow. Everyone seemed happy. Children played and had the time of their life. Snow was everywhere. Only Raphael didn't seem to have anything to celebrate. Raphael sat in his old pickup. All he could think of was the memories he shared with his wife, Lucy. They would giggle and laugh as the shopped and decorated Christmas tree. Everything reminded him of her. Raphael loaded a crate of wooden toys into his old pickup. He did it every December, handmade donations for the children's ward at Silver Pines Hospital. He didn't do it for praise. It was something Lucy had started years ago. Continuing it felt like the only way to keep her near. The hospital lobby was warm and bright, garlands wrapped around railings, nurses wearing Santa hats. A kind-eyed nurse named Marie greeted him with a smile. "You're early this year, Mr. Stone." "Couldn't sleep," Raphael said, forcing a smile. "Might as well do something useful." He signed the donation form, handed over the box of toys, and turned to leave, when something stopped him. A wheelchair passed by, pushed slowly by an orderly. The woman sitting in it had long brown hair, falling over her shoulders, her head tilted slightly, as if listening to a sound no one else could hear. Raphael froze. The color drained from his face. His heart stumbled. Lucy? The name escaped him like breath. He followed without thinking, pulse thundering in his ears. The orderly paused outside a recovery ward. Raphael hesitated, then stepped closer. "Excuse me," he said quietly. "That woman, who is she?" The orderly checked his clipboard. "Lucy Harper. She's been here 2 years. Severe memory loss after an accident. Nonverbal. Motor functions limited." Lucy Harper. Raphael's chest constricted. Harper had been her maiden name. He moved to the doorway, gripping the frame as though the world might slip away if he didn't hold on. Through the glass, he saw her sitting by the window, staring into the falling snow. Same soft jawline, same curve of her lips. It couldn't be, yet it was. Lucy. Inside the room, the hum of machines filled the silence. Raphael approached slowly, afraid to breathe too loudly. "Lucy?" Her gaze didn't shift. Her eyes followed the flakes outside. He knelt beside her. "It's me," he whispered. "Rafe." No flicker of recognition, no smile, just the steady rise and fall of her breathing. Marie appeared behind him, lowering her voice. "She doesn't talk," the nurse said gently. "And she doesn't remember anyone. Not yet." Raphael's throat tightened. "She was gone. They told me she died. Head trauma, coma for years, transferred from another facility before we realized her ID was incomplete." Marie takes Raphael to a corner of the hospital and takes time to explain to him about Lucy's condition and the treatment plan they have been following. She assures him that there is still hope for her to make a full recovery. He turned back to Lucy, trembling. "Then I'll remind her." Days blurred into weeks. Raphael visited every evening, reading to her, bringing flowers, telling her stories of the life they had shared. He played their favorite song, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." He showed her wedding photos, whispered about the small house they once built together, the dreams they'd had. Sometimes she blinked twice or tilted her head faintly, as if something far away stirred inside her. "You always loved snow," he'd murmur, brushing her hair gently. You said it felt like the sky forgiving the earth. One night, as he dozed beside her chair, he heard it. A breath, soft but certain. Rafe? His eyes shot open. Lucy's lips moved again, barely audible. Rafe? He leapt up, grasping her hands. Lucy, I'm here. I'm right here. Her gaze flickered, unfocused, and then she drifted back into stillness. Marie rushed in at the sound of his shout. What happened? She said my name, Raphael whispered. She remembered me. The nurse smiled sadly. That's a good sign, but don't expect too much too fast. He nodded, but inside a light had already reignited. A few days later, in the hospital garden, Raphael was carving another angel when a small voice startled him. Mister, can you fix this? A little girl stood there, holding the broken half of a wooden heart. She couldn't have been older than 7. Messy hair, bright eyes full of something achingly familiar. I'll try, Raphael said, taking the piece. Where'd you get it? From my mommy, she said proudly. She can't walk or talk, but she makes pretty things before she sleeps. He smiled faintly, mending the crack with glue. There, good as new. The girl beamed. You fix hearts, huh? Trying to, he murmured. Her name, he learned, was Charlotte. She was a patient's daughter, her mother, Lucy Harper. Raphael's chest tightened. Charlotte, your mom's name is Lucy? Uh-huh. She's sick, but the doctors say she's strong. The world tilted. His hands trembled. Sweetheart, he said softly, can you show me your mom? Charlotte nodded, tugging his sleeve. When they reached the room, Raphael stopped at the door. Lucy sat in her chair by the window, as always. The child ran to her, hugging her knees. See, Mommy? I brought someone. Lucy's eyes lifted. For the first time, they seemed to see. Later that evening, Raphael sat with Marie in the corridor, trying to steady his breathing. She had a daughter, he whispered. Lucy, and a daughter. Charlotte's father died before she was born, Marie said quietly. Lucy came here after the accident. It's a miracle she survived. Raphael stared at his trembling hands. So she lived, and built another life, without me. Marie touched his arm gently. Maybe fate just needed time to catch up. As Christmas Eve approached, the hospital filled with soft music and warm light. Raphael spent the night beside Lucy and Charlotte, reading aloud while the little girl drifted to sleep against her mother's lap. Once upon a time, he said softly, there was a woman who got lost in the snow, but love found her anyway. Lucy's fingers twitched, her lips moved slightly. Rafe? He froze. Her eyes met his, clear now, conscious, trembling with tears. You came, she whispered. He laughed through his tears, gripping her hands. You came back? Charlotte stirred awake, blinking. Mommy? Lucy smiled weakly. Sweetheart. The girl gasped and threw her arms around her. Raphael turned away, tears streaking his face. Outside, snow fell harder, the flakes catching in the glow of the Christmas lights. By morning, the news spread through the hospital. Lucy Harper had spoken. She could move her hands, even sit upright without help. Doctors called it impossible. Raphael called it a miracle. In the days that followed, Lucy grew stronger. She and Raphael spent hours piecing together memories, flashes of their wedding, the accident, the years lost in silence. She didn't remember everything, but she remembered enough. Enough to know that love had never left her. On Christmas night, the town square glowed with light. A massive tree stood at the center, its branches dripping with silver tinsel. The air was crisp, music floating in the house, Raphael, Lucy recreating old memories and decorating the Christmas tree in their home. Charlotte runs to the tree, where her parents are standing asking which present is hers, her laughter rising like a carol. I love you, Lucy, whispered to Charlotte. The air was crisp, music floating through the streets. Raphael stood beside Lucy, her hand warm in his. Charlotte ran ahead, her laughter rising like a carol. She's beautiful, Lucy whispered. Just like her mother, Raphael said softly. Lucy looked up at him. You waited for me all this time. I never stopped, he said. I will always wait for you, even if it takes forever. Never forget that. Someone loved is never lost, she smiled, tears glittering in her lashes. Then we found each other again. They joined Charlotte under the falling snow, their laughter blending with the town's choir. As the clock struck midnight, Raphael kissed Lucy's forehead. Merry Christmas, he whispered. Merry Christmas, Rafe, she replied. We're finally home. The camera of imagination would pull back then, rising above the snowy square, the glowing tree, the 3 figures beneath it. They were so happy to be back to each other, and as one happy family. Snowflakes swirled like blessings, and the town bells rang out across Silver Pines. Because in the end, love doesn't vanish with time. It waits, quietly, patiently, until two souls remember how to find their way back. And someone loved is never truly lost.